Hey everyone, welcome to your Fitness Friday. Last week I talked about doing the mobility for your shoulders. This week I'm going to do the mobility for your hips because we like to stay balanced from top to bottom. When we have really tight hips, if you need a chair or something for balance, please grab a chair. I'm going to hang on to the wall just so that you can see what the motion is from the side, and then I'm going to rotate so that you can see exactly what's going on from the front as well. So we want to open up the hips. When you lift your knee out and forward, you're pulling it back around, so we're working through the glutes, and you're going to tap your foot behind. And then we're going to lift and tap your foot in front. So from a front view, same, we're going to lift, tap, and touch. And lift, tap, and touch. So we're touching the floor in the front, and we're touching the floor in the back. I wasn't because my shoe's in the way. There we go. Okay, and then we want to work on the balance. So we're standing up nice and tall, and tap, and forward, and around. So imagine you're trying to swing your leg up and over something. So what happens here for a lot of people is when you get to here, the knee turns in and the leg buckles and you pull in through the adductors. And we don't want to do that. I want you to work through the hip and the gluteus medius as you open and close. Go two more. Good. And last one. And forward. Okay, so let's do the other side as you're balanced. And open and close. And open and close. Perfect. And breathe. Remember, you're standing, we're pulling the abdominals in. And close. Let's go one more. And close. Okay, so we've changed the setup a little bit. I've got my yoga mat out. We have George, because he's helping this week. You want to make sure that when you're doing this exercise, we're first going to stretch out the hip flexor, that the weight is now on the knee on the floor. So my left leg is the working leg. If you need to put a ball or something beside you to balance, then you're going to do that. Everything else is a 90-degree angle. The knee comes straight out and your heel is directly below the knee. All right, we're going to tuck under. We're going to lift that rib cage. Now, here's where the stretch begins. From here, normally this is where our pelvises sit. We're going to tuck that pelvis under and lean slightly forward. At the same time, we keep our rib cage lifted and the shoulders are back. And we're just going to hover here and balance. So if you need to pause the video, pause the video. Okay, but you can hold this stretch up to 3 minutes. Maybe 5 if you really want to. If you're really super tight, you're going to feel that down the front. Okay, so we've gone ahead and we've switched to the other side because we want to keep all things equal. Now remember, your pelvis isn't here, it's tucked under and pushed slightly forward, and if you need to readjust your front foot, you're going to do that. And again, shoulders are back. Chest is lifted, and we're just stretching out that front hip flexor in preparation for our next exercise. All right, so again, we can hold this, you can pause the video, and then we're going to go into our next setup. All right, we're going to start again. We're going to switch back to our original leg so that you want to have your right knee, working knee, left foot on the floor. Now, from here, imagine that you're between two doors, like the door jamb, right? Because your hips are going to go side to side this way. So that's literally it. All we're going to do is tip the hips from side to side, imagining that you're bouncing them off the wall or the door jamb on either side. Okay, this is a prep and a warm-up. Now, from here, we're going to inhale, lift, and tilt forward. What we're going to do and what you're going to see is your back's going to stay really, really straight as you go forward and tilt back and lift and tilt back and lift and tilt back. Now, I'm going to switch sides and rotate my angle so that you can see what I'm doing. Take your time to go through the video to learn all the proper steps in order to do this. You can watch everything first and then come back and do it. So that way you're getting the proper mechanics and the right technique in order to get the movement in your hip. So again, side to side, like we're bouncing between the door, and then we're coming to center. Now, as you inhale, you're going to arch the back, lift the chest, reach your arms, and then exhale, tilt forward from your hip so your back stays straight. So at no point are you pushing your bum. We're not changing this. This leg doesn't move. Inhale and out. Exhale. Inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. Then you're going to go through all the set, like each set with 8 reps. So if you want to know whether or not you're back forward, did this leg move? That's an easy way to understand and to see. All right, the next exercise that we want to look at is something a little bit harder. It's a little bit more advanced, so be careful when you're doing it. We're going to come up, and actually I really need my socks off for this one. So we're starting wide in order to make sure when we drop down, you're going to drop down into a sumo squat. You're going to place your hands, lift your hips, and shake side to side. And then you're going to bend your knees, come down into the sumo squat, and shift side to side. So you're resting your elbows on the inside of the knee. Place your hands, lift your hips, legs are straight, and you're bouncing side to side. And again, drop, place your elbows, and side to side. We're going to go one more time. Plant your hands and lift and roll side to side. And again, drop. When you drop, you're looking to drop your sit bones straight down. And then we're just going to come up. So those are some of the simplest and easy exercises that you can do to help with the mobility of your hips. We saw last week the shoulder work. You can put these two together and have a nice little easy half-hour exercise in something that's going to help you. Now, if you're looking to increase your mobility, you want to give yourself time. Somewhere between the 6 and 8 week time frame before you see a huge change. If you're already halfway there, it's going to happen sooner. If you're really super tight, it could take up to 3 months. Guys, always remember, if you need help or want one-on-one coaching or you need a private session in order to build a program that's right for you, DM me or post in the comments. We can set up a session. I am a skilled trainer. It is part of what I do, and I started as a trainer and a national strength and conditioning coach, and this is just something that I do on top of it. In order to help with your anxiety and stress, you do need to be consistent in your workouts in order to build endorphins and feel better. This is a start point for you to get going. Work your mobility first, and then after this, we're going to work on stability.